On the day that's 2 days removed or ahead of the country's 249th birthday, a baseball program and a baseball community founded out of respect for country and out of support for nation takes center stage on SEC TV. Today, Rosetown Post 542 takes on the hometown White Bear Post 168. From Rossini Field at Mariner Middle School, Alex Wisto with you here from just behind home plate ahead of today's town ball game between Rosetown from Roseville and White Bear Lake from, obviously, White Bear Lake. Our production crew today, our camera operators, Lisa Senapol, Michael Kadehi, and Liam Spillane. In the truck today, Tim Mecklin, Flora Schur, and David Schuyler. Well, if there's any team and any program that's been good at baseball in the American Legion over the course of it, it's been these teams from the 4th District American Legion, a group and a district that claims to have had more MN state championships than anyone. For the hometown White Bear Lake Bears, their season has been spectacular. So far, undefeated in play. They will contend against this Rosetown starting lineup. The batting order for Rosetown, leading off the pitcher number 2, Caden Ellingson. Shortstop number 4, Jackson Hahn. He will bat second. In center field, number 12, Henry Reinhardt. Right fielder number 10, Calvin McCabe, bats fourth. The first baseman, number 41, Cody Cregan, will bat fifth. Third baseman, number 11, Eric Kane, bats sixth. And at seventh, the second baseman, number 14, Jack Usalis. Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 8, Aiden Homzik. And the catcher, number 3, Jake Wolf. Pitching today for White Bear Post 168, Brady William gets the call today for White Bear Post 168. William will wind and fire his first offerings. Taken for a called strike. And we're underway. 6:04 p.m. here in White Bear Lake, Minnesota. Temperature 89 degrees and a couple of patchwork clouds high above the Minnesota sky. 0-1 from William. Taken low and inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Very balmy day here in the Twin Cities. Not uncomfortable in the shade. As the crowd continues to file in here, we'll see a crowd that continues to build over the course of the next couple of hours. 1-1 is fouled off, counted 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitcher Caden Ellingson leading things off. Pre-game conversation with Matt Seiler, the head coach of White Bear Post 168. A lot of this White Bear team had to transition over from the White Bear High School team. As for the 9 starting players, 8 of them played on a White Bear Lake Boys High School baseball team that had been very good this past season in 2025. 2-2s in the dirt, stopped well by Allshouse. The count runs full 3 balls and 2 strikes. So when you have that kind of consistency, you have that kind of success. Again, a team that forced Stillwater, a pretty good team in their own right, to a couple of elimination games. 3-2. Taken high and inside, ball 4. Leadoff walk to Caden Ellingson. The first base runner is on. Jackson Hahn will step in. Shortstop at second. Jackson Hahn steps in on the left-hand side. The runner on at first, and Ellingson. William comes set, fires. It's popped in the air, playable towards third. Farrington has it for out number 1. Off contact that was elicited by William. And jamming up just enough of the batter Hahn to force a pop up to the third baseman in Farrington. With 1 out and a runner on at first, Henry Reinhardt will bat. First pitch to Reinhardt is high, ball 1. 1-0 count. We're very early on in this game between Rosetown Post 542. William set his 1-0. Curve, nice one at that, finds his own. 1 ball and 1 strike. Caden Ellingson reached on a walk. Has a lead from first base. Not a generous lead by any means. Williams set. His 1-1 as a runner will go. Swing and a miss by the batter Reinhardt. Throw down a second. Sails into the outfield. It's a stolen base for Caden Ellingson. Pitch was a swing and miss strike, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 from William. In the dirt, stopped well by Allshouse. Count level, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good throw by Allshouse, but just a tad off the bag. Von Walter at second base covering. Throw pulled him off the bag. Great speed, though, by Ellingson. Not necessarily a play to be made anyway. 2-2. Swinging a ball that's hit past the pitcher, William. Von Walter gathers, throws in time. 2 down. Taking third will be Caden Ellingson on the play. After the 4-3 putout, it'll bring up Calvin McCabe. So McCabe a runner on third, 2 down. Right fielder bats for the first time today, batting fourth in the Rosetown lineup. 4th district of the American Legion Division I ball has 6 teams in a White Bear Lake, top of the table. This one skied out to shallow center field. Looking for it is Humphrey in the high Minnesota sky. And after a leadoff walk, no damage done further against White Bear as Rosetown goes 1-2-3 after the leadoff walk by Ellingson. For Rosetown at the top of the first, no runs on no hits. There were no errors. They leave 1 runner on base. After half an inning, White Bear coming to bat. Rosetown 0. You're on your home for town ball in the upper Midwest. SEC TV 19.
There I was, 16, divorced, remarried with a baby, another on the way, and I could barely read or write. It was time for me to change my life and the lives of my family. So I went back and I got my high school diploma. That was the catalyst I needed. Now I have a bachelor's, a master's, and I became a teacher.
Mom, this is your very first yearbook.
Your commitment to education motivates me, your coworkers, and your students.
You showed me that if you come from nothing, you can still be anything.
You told me I deserve to succeed. It's been 15 years and I still live by that.
You're the model for success for your kids, grandkids, and your students.
When I look at all these success stories, I cannot help but think it all started by getting my high school diploma.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Bottom of the first inning, White Bear Post coming to bat for the first time in a scoreless game. Tyler Allshouse, catcher, will lead things off. Takes a first pitch high for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Isaiah Weber to follow. Kevin Zollinger will be in the hole here. As a pitch thrown by Ellingson, another ball, 2 balls and no strikes. White Bear Post 168, perfect so far this season, 5-0. In a very competitive division here in the Twin Cities. 2-0. Good pitch thrown by Ellingson, but missed the plate somewhere. 3 balls and no strikes. Ellingson lines, fires a 3-0. It's taken called strike. 3 balls and 1 strike. Allshouse taking all the way. The White Bear lineup in just a moment, as soon as we can. The 3-1. One slap foul of first base, and the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Tyler Allshouse. Isaiah Weber, the shortstop, is on deck. Kevin Zollinger in the hole. Our buddy Rachel and Farrington would bat in the 4th spot for White Bear Post 168. 3-2 to Allshouse. Swinging the ball, hit out towards right field. That's into the glove of the right fielder, McCabe. A very loud out number 1. The White Bear batting lineup. Tyler Allshouse will lead things off. Shortstop number 21, Isaiah Weber, bats second. He'll bat now. Right fielder number 4, Kevin Zollinger, will bat third. At third base, number 20, Owen Farrington, bats fourth. The left fielder, number 14, Luke Bush, bats fifth. The DH will bat sixth, number 12, Jace Lombardi. Batting seventh, the first baseman, number 10, Matt Anderson. Batting eighth, the second baseman, number 3, Gunnar Van Walter. And the center fielder, number 9, batting ninth, Christian Humphrey. Opposing pitcher Caden Ellingson. 1-0. Popped in the air, but foul. We'll go back to the homes back here on the south side of White Bear Lake. And the count level 1 ball, 1 strike. I suppose I'm in a pretty good spot to get some action here today. Not a high fence by any means here at Mariner Middle School. Speed taken for a ball, 2 balls and 1 strike. There's a short fence just to the right of the broadcast point that essentially cuts off at the top of the dugout. 2-1 misses, 3 balls and 1 strike. Zollinger on deck. Fence that is maybe at its peak, maybe 8 feet tall, and then on top of that you have another fence higher that's about 16 feet. So in terms of Division I, Division III, and high school and town ball, might be my best chance to get a ball hit my way here all season long. 3-1 pitch, misses the plate, and so ball is called, ball 4. Weber's on via the walk. Kevin Zollinger will bat. Zollinger in right field. And for a beautiful day here in southern White Bear Lake, Minnesota, the distance of what was White Bear South Campus, now Mariner Middle School. Zollinger looks at the first pitch, ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Weber with a small lead off of first. Ellingson waits, comes set. Into his lineup, the 1-0 as a runner will go. Throw down to second base is in time, but off the glove of the shortstop Hahn and into center field. I don't want to say busted play, but awkward certainly nonetheless, as Weber will advance to second base. Here our base umpire called a balk, so that's the reason for the awkwardness. So runner on from first to second on the balk. The 2-0. It's taken high, 3 balls, no strikes. White Bear, as of late, in terms of the games that they've played, the rain that happened last week, they haven't played since the 24th. They put 7 runs against North St. Paul. 3-0, taken for a strike, 3 balls and 1 strike. 7 runs for White Bear against North St. Paul and the 39ers. The team currently sitting 4th division. They're 6th of all those teams. 3-1. It's popped in the air. Foul of the third base side. Kane going over to give it a look, and just shy of the out of the play line will make the play. Now the runner is off of the bag at second, but there won't be a throw back. Kane had to go a long way to get to that ball, all the way on the line, and there's a slight hill shy of that out-of-play fence, and Weber took a generous lead off of second base, was halfway between, but no throw was made. Here's Owen Farrington to bat. He'll take the first pitch for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Rosetown in the second will have Cregan, Kane, and Usalis. Will be 5, 6, and 7 in the Rosetown batting lineup. 1-0 from Ellingson. Taken low, 2 balls, no strikes. Luke Bush is on deck should this inning continue for White Bear post 168. Here in the bottom of the first inning, no score. Both teams have got a runner on via the base on balls, but no damage done either way. There's a pop up into shallow center field. Coming on is Reinhardt, and he has it for out number 3. For White Bear post 168, they score no runs, no hits, no errors. They will leave 1. We're through an inning here at Mariner Middle School. Rosetown 0, White Bear 0. You're on your home for town ball in the Northeast Metro. Suburban Community Channels, TV 19.
My relationship with my dad, I've had many male figures in my life, but there's only been one that has taught me that it's okay to be silly, it's okay to feel small, it's okay to admit you need help. And with anything, I can always go to my dad.
Learn about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org.
Calling all big thinkers. The world's climate is changing. These aren't new facts, but it means we must think in new ways. Engineers are answering the call to create solutions that decrease our dependence on fossil fuels, taking lessons from the best engineer out there, nature. Engineers are creating cleaner, safer, and reliable energy.
Top of the second inning here at Mariner Middle School in White Bear Lake, Minnesota. Rosetown post 542 and White Bear post 168 scoreless after an inning of play. Alex Westdale with you here from just behind home plate, just outside of Mariner Middle School's front entrance and, of course, corner of County Road E and McKnight. For Rosetown, they have to deal with this defense for White Bear post in the outfield from left to right. Bush, Humphrey, and Zollinger on the infield from third to first. Farrington, Weber, Von Walter, Anderson, and all shouts behind the plate, catching Brady Williams. So for Rosetown in the second inning, it'll be 5, 6, and 7. Cregan, Kane, Nusalis. Should anybody reach, Aiden Homzik would bat next. First pitch swinging. This one will get foul back and out of play. And the count will be no balls and 1 strike. So for William in the first inning, Brady William had leadoff walk to Ellingson, and the next 3 all retired in a row. The 0-1. Pitch taken high in the zone for a strike, and the count 0-2. So similar first inning for each of these starting pitchers. Brady William for White Bear post 168, and Caden Ellingson for Rosetown 542. Tapped on the ground to third. Farrington at the belt on the run. In time, 1 down. Slow chopper for the third baseman Farrington, but a good settled play, making it across the diamond in time. Not a highlight reel play, but a difficult play nonetheless, and one made well by White Bear post 168's third baseman. Here comes Rosetown's third baseman Eric Kane, wearing the number 11 for Rosetown. Looks at a first pitch in the dirt from William. Count 1 ball and no strikes. White Bear top of the table in 2025's 4th district standings. Another play on a hop into the glove of Farrington. Across the diamond to Anderson, 2 up, 2 down. The base is empty, 2 down. Salas will bat next, batting 7th in the Rosetown lineup. White Bear 5-0 in that 4th district. They have 5 games left to play. Rosetown, meanwhile, at 1-3. They too, one of a few teams that have just 6 games left to play in this 4th district. Of course, these 2 teams will play each other again at CHS Field down in St. Paul. So let's look at a first pitch. And it was not able to make contact with, and the count 0-1. The 0-1 here. Another ball on the ground, hit for Farrington. Farrington with a sidearm. 3 balls hit to the third baseman Farrington, and 3 outs recorded. All 3 5-3 putouts if you're scoring along with us at home. For Rosetown, post 542 in the top of the second inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and they leave no runners on. Through an inning and a half here at Mariner Middle School. Rosetown 0, White Bear post 0. You're on your home for White Bear baseball. Town, not Town Square. Suburban Community Channels, TV 19.
Calling all big thinkers. The world's climate is changing. These aren't new facts, but it means we must think in new ways about how we can live, prosper, and provide energy for our world while protecting our planet. Engineers are answering the call to create cleaner, safer, reliable energy. Solar power, harnessing the power of the sun to light all corners of the globe. Wind power, channeling a simple breeze to bring electricity to our homes. Hydropower, using the natural flow of water to generate electricity. Nuclear power, engineering advanced reactors that are safer, more reliable, and produce zero carbon emissions. Engineers are leading the way and empowering the next generation. Engineers answer the call.
Bottom of the second inning, 5, 6, and 7. Due up for White Bear post 168. Bush, Lombardi, and Anderson. And what's been a scoreless game so far here from Mariner Middle School. First pitch is swung at by Bush, fouled straight back, 0-1. Alex Wester with you here from Mariner Middle School in White Bear Lake. Just a hop, skip, and a jump from the actual campus of itself in nature. The 0-1. One driven out to left field. That's down for a base hit. Luke Bush with a leadoff single to left field. Our first hit of the evening. And the lineup will move for White Bear now for Jace Lombardi. Our crew today, David Schuyler, Joe Schuyler, Tim Mecklin, and Flora Schur in the truck. The three brave souls out taking control of the cameras today. Michael Cudahy, Liam Spillane, and Lisa Senapole. First pitch in this at-bat to Jace Lombardi is taken high for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Third base coach for White Bears, 1-0. Will have to wait on a throwback over to hold Bush to the bag. Another 1-0 upcoming. It's Matt Seiler who's on at third base as the third base coach for White Bear. 1-0. Balls in the dirt, 2 balls and no strikes. Bit of a controversial opinion. One that certainly those who live here, play here, work here, go back and forth about. 2-0. That's taken high in the zone for a strike, 2 balls and 1 strike. Lombardi didn't like it, shaking his head at the call. But both of them have been getting that high strike so far. Ellingson for Rosetown and William for White Bear. Another throw over, Bush back in safely without a slide. But in terms of that controversy, a lot of people call it White Bear. Some people prefer that it be called by its full name, White Bear Lake. 2-1. This one's hit off towards right field. That's down for a base hit. Bush will take second and stop there. Back-to-back base hits for White Bear. Runners on first and second for Matt Anderson. Now, me personally, as a first baseman, Anderson will bat. Me personally, I've always been a White Bear Lake guy. I like the sound of it. Just sounds good off the tongue. White Bear's okay too, but I'm more a White Bear Lake guy. Anderson skies this one out to right field. McCabe going back, looking over his head. That's over his head and shy of the fence. 1 run will come in and the others will be held as Luke Bush comes to score the first run of the game. It's 1-0 White Bear. So that's a double for Matt Anderson over the head of the right fielder McCabe, and not a breeze to speak of here at Mariner Middle School on a ball that just carried all strength by the first baseman Anderson. Gunnar Von Walter will bat. First pitch to him in this at-bat is a strike, 0-1. Close pitch by Ellingson, but called ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, an outfield here at Mariner Middle School that's very far, very deep. Requires a lot of power, even on these hot, steamy days, to get that one out. Sky to center field. Reinhardt has it there. Tagging and scoring Jace Lombardi to make it 2-0. Throw comes into third base and not in time. So Lombardi comes in to score the second run of the game to make it 2-0. And Anderson will take third on the sac fly by Gunnar Von Walter. A fly ball, a productive fly ball. Now the runner on at third with one out for Christian Humphrey in center field. Pitch well high. Wolf with a nice jump to get to it. Humphrey will step back in. Ellingson set his 1-0. Taken off the plate, 2 balls and no strikes. Defensive alignment for Rosetown this evening. Hamzik, Reinhard, McCabe from left to right. Kane, Hahn, Usalis, Cregan from third to first. Wolf behind the plate catching Ellingson. In terms of what each team has in their bench, and we may see it tonight, 2-0. Pitch on the corner, but called a ball. 3 balls and no strikes. White Bear with 9 on their bench tonight. On their roster, 3-0 is taken for a strike. Humphrey started to head down to first base. And the count 3 balls and 1 strike. Meanwhile, for Rosetown on their playing roster, they have 8 who might be available today. Their dugout a little less full than that. Another ball at sky to center field. Reinhardt with the cap high catch. Tagging and heading home is Anderson. No throw. And another run on the board. White Bear leads 3-0. As the runs have been coming in bunches here in the bottom of the second inning. So Bush with the single, Lombardi with the single, Anderson with the double. Then Von Walter a sac fly, Humphrey the sac fly, flipping around the White Bear post lineup for Tyler Allshouse. First pitch in this at-bat taken for a strike, 0-1. Allshouse lined out to right field and McCabe his first time. Winds, fires. Another pitch taken for a called strike, 0-2. Rosetown in the third will have 8, 9, and 1. Hamzik, Wolf, the top of their lineup, Ellingson. Righty winds is 0-2. Taken, good pitch thrown by Ellingson, but called the ball by our home plate umpire, and the count will be 1 ball and 2 strikes. Base is empty, 2 down. Swing the ball, hit well out to right field. Heading back is McCabe. That one looks over the head of the outfielders and all the way short of the wall. Big turn around, but Allshouse heads into second base. It's another double in the inning for White Bear post 168, and Isaiah Weber will bat. So per high school rules, Evan Newlander will be allowed to courtesy run for the catcher, Tyler Allshouse. So far, the balls that have been hit to the outfield have been hit with power and over the head of the outfielders. Were it not for this very thick grass here in Mariners, this one's driven out towards left field, giving it a look. That one's off the top of the wall there, off the bat of Weber. Newlander comes in to score. That makes it 4-0 White Bear. On the third double of the inning for White Bear post 168. Kevin Zollinger will bat, but before he does, Wolf will head out to the mound to talk to Ellingson after White Bear has put up 4 runs in this bottom of the second inning. Back to that White Bear versus White Bear late conversation. Someone's very excited about something. I have no idea what though. My mother, who lives not too far from here, very adamant about calling it White Bear Lake. Personally, for me, tomato, tomato. But my dear mother is a little more particular about things like that. I'll let you decide for yourself. Zollinger takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1. Zollinger, a soft pop-up to third, his first time back in the first inning. It's the 8th Bear to bat here in this bottom of inning number 2. Ellingson set, the 0-1. Taken low in the dirt. Nice stop by Wolf, but it does get away from him, allowing Weber to take third. And in the second inning for White Bear post 168, it's not just that the Bears have hit for power, they have with 3 doubles. also been able to move runners over when they can. Sacrifice flies, 2 of them by the bottom of this lineup. 1-1 fouled off. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. For baseball teams, no matter what the level, no matter where you play, no matter how frequently you play, that small ball situation and being able to move runners when you can, very important. 1-2, cut on and miss. It'll be a strikeout. Throw down from Wolf to Cregan is in time, and the inning is over. But not before. Damage done for White Bear Lake. They score 4 runs on 5 hits. There were no errors, and they leave 1 runner on. We're through 2 here at Mariner Middle School. White Bear 4, Rosetown 0. Here on your home for White Bear Lake Baseball. Suburban Community Channels, TV 19. Rosetown trailing in the top of the 3rd inning 4-0 to White Bear Post 168 with 8-9-1 due up in Rosetown's batting lineup. Brady Williams back onto the bump here in this top of the 3rd inning. Just 1 base runner allowed, leadoff walk by Ellingson, but since then 6 in a row retired by the White Bear right-hander. Tomzik will foul the first one off. He'll be followed by the catcher Jake Wolf, then the top of the Rosetown lineup and Caden Ellingson. The 0-1. Off speed, taking a strike, 0-2. At the point in the day with the trees here at Mariner Middle School starting to provide some shadow for the 3rd base area and the 3rd baseline. 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Tomzik is down on strikes. He goes down swinging the first strikeout for Williams this evening. And base is empty, 1 down. Here's Jake Wolf. Especially with the righties and both teams throwing out righties today. Ellingson for Rosetown, Williams for White Bear, especially with how that delivery starts. You can see where that shadow just becomes part of that feature. Depending on where that ball is released, it can be so difficult to go from that sun to that shade, just with where that ball is being thrown. Not going to miss on the first offering by Jake Wolf. The 0-1. Taken low, count level, 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, the temperature will continue to dip down as the evening progresses here. Nice crowd. Unfortunately for White Bear fans, we are a bit far from the Cup and Cone. White Bear staple. 1-1. Taken high in the zone for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here to Jake Wolf, the catcher for Rosetown, post 542. Here in the top of the 3rd inning, 1 down, 4-0 the score. 1-2. It's taken low. Off-speed pitch that was spiked by Williams. Count level, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Big fan of the Cup and Coat myself. McDonald's well off in the distance in left field with some solid ice cream as well. 2-2. Swinging a ball. Misted towards 3rd. Up with it, Farrington. Throw across the diamond in time. And 2 down. So after the leadoff walk, Williams retired 8 in a row. Here's the top of the Rosetown lineup and Caden Ellingson to bat. Ellingson with that walk. Obviously for Williams having retired 8 in a row. His first one is high in the zone for a strike, 0-1. But for Ellingson in that at bat, having to draw that walk and earn it. The 0-1. So he started behind in the count and had to work his way back into it, pull back even. Be able to earn that base on balls. 1-1. Swinging a pop-up. Foul of third. Farrington over. Has it shy. And out number 3 is recorded. 9 in a row retired for Brady Williams, the pitcher for White Bear, post 168. As we head to the bottom of the third, White Bear in front 4-0. Turning home for Town Ball in the Northeast Metro, Suburban Community Channels, TV 19.
Love is a lesson that doesn't end. It knows no conditions, so you better buckle in. Love keeps you on your toes. It never stops, only grows. Love isn't easy, it's a commitment, especially when they're being their most resistant. Love is finding the right seat so you can take a breath. But remember, love isn't lax, it always double checks. Check that your kids are in the right seat at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Danny.
Danny! Laps.
Danny, we need to talk.
Danny! She's overdosing.
When no one else knows what to do, it's gotta be you. Carry naloxone. You could save a life.
Day is all done for Caden Ellingson as he will be lifted and will actually switch to the positions with Jackson Hahn. So Hahn moves from shortstop to pitcher. Ellingson moves from pitcher to shortstop. We'll get you the final line on him in just a few moments. For White Bear, post 168 here in this third inning. For White Bear post here in this third inning, it'll be 4, 5, and 6. Farrington, Bush, and Lombardi. As the Bears look to add on to their 4-0 lead. Typically in White Bear Lake, the saying is, orange is a winner and black can't be beat. Well, for White Bear post 168, it's red, white, and blue for the Bears. Perhaps a little related to the American Legion relationship. Same too for Rosetown. Normally Roseville Raider, you see on your screen in that bottom right scoreboard, that black and white and gray. Here's Farrington, bats for the second time, flew out to center field his first time. That was back in the first. Takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1. American Legion ball celebrating its 101st year in existence, the 0-1. Taking first strike, 0-2. Community service always been the value of the American Legion. In 1925, this commitment was furthered to include a baseball program. 0-2. Taken for a ball, 1 ball, and 2 strikes. The American Legion Town Ball League was first proposed at an American Legion State Convention in Millbank, South Dakota. It was a 1-2. It's taken high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. When Sioux Falls Attorney and Department Commander Frank G. McCormick invited his close friend Major John L. Griffin to address the convention. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Farrington is down on strikes, back-to-back strikeouts for Rosetown pitchers. The first of the afternoon for Hahn. Base is empty, 1 down now for Luke Bush. But for Griffith, instead of giving a traditional speech, he was the commissioner of what was the Western Conference, now the Big Ten, and he spoke about the role athletics can play in the development of young people. First pitch in this at-bat to Bush. He's taken for a strike, 0-1. Bush reaching a single let off. Second inning with a single. 0-1 taking another strike. And the count is 0-2. Griffith said, quote, "The American Legion could well consider the advisability of assisting in the training of our young Americans through athletic games." 0-2 taken high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Athletic competition teaches courage and respect for others, fostering their growth into active citizens, he explained in that conference in 1925. Into the Y and the 1-2. On off the plate, 2 balls and 2 strikes. South Dakota Convention agreed and passed a resolution urging the Legion to create an organized summer baseball league that started each and every June. 2-2. Taken inside, 3 balls into 2 strikes. Jace Lombardi on deck. Since then, it's evolved from posts in 15 states who began the American Legion ball as a 3-2 is chopped on the ground to short. Ellingson bobbles it off the top of his glove. And the batter, Bush, will be safe on at first base. But since that 15 states, each with their own posts, creating American Legion ball back in 1925, 3,500 teams annual now play Legion ball in states all across the United States and in Canada. The growth of the game, the growth of Legion ball certainly is something admirable and something that's been an American staple for quite some time. Pitch taken for a strike in this at-bat to Jace Lombardi. Count 0-1. Lombardi, another one of those who reached in a single. Came around to score on the sacrifice fly by Von Walter. Part of that 4-run second inning for White Bear. 0-1's taken low, 1 ball and 1 strike. And for American Legion, maybe with the exception of that one 2020 season, obviously with the COVID-19 pandemic ongoing at the time, Boys of Summer have taken the diamond each and every year in that time. Another ball that's bopped by Ellingson. The throw to second base was in time for the 1 out. So Bush is retired. Lombardi is safe via the fielder's choice. A runner on at first base and 2 down. Matt Anderson will bat. Of course, you see it elsewhere too here in White Bear Lake. The White Bear Athletic Department starting their routine summer leagues for young people. Ellingson really with the only play he could have made was to second. Would have been a tough turn regardless. Lombardi with good speed. Now the count to Anderson, 1 ball and no strikes. Anderson an RBI double his first time back in the second inning. Another throw over and safely is Lombardi. Rosetown in the 4th will have 2, 3, and 4. Hahn, Reinhardt, and McCabe. As Hahn in release of Ellingson, looking to keep this at a 4-0 scoreline. 1-0. We're going to blast out to center field. That's down for a base hit. High grass in center field slows the roll a little bit, but Lombardi still takes second. And a 2-hit day so far for Matt Anderson, and Gunnar Von Walter will bat. Von Walter, the sacrifice fly RBI, his first time. That's his sac fly, scored Lombardi. Humphrey on the on-deck area. His sac fly for the next round. That was a run occupied by Anderson. On set, his 0-1. Taken for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Line on Ellingson, 2 innings of work, 5 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. So far for Hahn here, the strikeout. Fielder's choice and a single allowed. How Bush reached, I haven't quite decided how I want to score that yet. Whether that be a single or error. Hard hit ball certainly, so I'll go single. Why not? Conversation on the mound between Wolf and Hahn has completed. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Hahn comes set, the fire. Off speed, the tailed back down into the zone. The count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Christian Humphrey on deck should this inning continue. 4-0 White Bear Lake. Bears 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors. They left 2 on. 1-2. The ball hit foul. Nice barehanded catch made by the on-deck hitter Christian Humphrey. And for Rosetown, no runs, no hits, no errors. They've left 1. So far, that leadoff walk by Ellingson, that's been it. On comes set, is 1-2. Taken off the glove of the catcher, Wolf. That will allow both runners to advance. So both Lombardi from second to third and Anderson from first to second will give 2 runners in scoring position for Von Walter. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hahn winds and fires. Ball in the dirt, got away from the catcher in Wolf. Taking from third and going home is Lombardi. He scores another run, and White Bear leads 5-0. Anderson takes third on the play. The count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. On winds, he fires a 3-2. Swinging a pop-up, that's well foul. And into the trees behind us, and another 3-2 upcoming. Line on Ellingson, 2 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs. All 4 earned, 1 walk and 1 strikeout. 3-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. And the inning is over. Hahn comes in, strikes out a pair, but another run comes in to score. 4 White Bear post 168, 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors, and they will leave 1 runner on base. We are through 3 here at Mariner Middle School. White Bear 5, Rosetown 0. We are home for baseball in the Northeast Metro. Suburban Community Channels, TV 19.
Is more prepared for an emergency than Dogman.
With all your kung fu skills and your canine fortitude or whatnot.
But for the rest of us, a good plan goes a long way.
Come on, let's go!
So, whether it's an unexpected disaster or the world's most evilest cat bent on destroying all do-gooders,
destroy all do-gooders!
You can help your family be ready for anything.
No time to waste. Will you get out of here?
Get started today at ready.gov/kids.
Mom, did you really need to buy 2 can openers for our emergency kit? I can't help it. They're 2 for 1. What's this? We need to keep our family communication plan safe in case of an emergency. Thanks, Tita. We should think ahead to keep Mom and Dad safe when it floods this year. I've got an evacuation route loaded in my phone.
I've got an updated list of Dad's meds.
And I've got just what we need to get them to take this seriously.
Start a conversation with your family and plan together for emergencies.
Nine in a row retired by Brady Williams as we head to the top of the 4th inning. Jackson Hahn steps in, fouls the first pitch off, 0-1. He'll be followed in this 4th inning by Henry Reinhardt and Calvin McCabe as White Bear leading Rosetown 5-0 here in the top of the 4th inning. Jackson Hahn popped up to the third baseman Farrington back in his only at-bat in the 1st inning. Takes this one here for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Back to the 9 outs that have been recorded by White Bear post 168 so far this evening. And wild and ridiculous to say it certainly, but 7 of the 9 have involved the third baseman in some way. How about that? Williams rocks his 2-1. One's fouled back, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hahn, Reinhardt, McCabe. Should anybody reach Cody Cregan right now for Rosetown, looking for that next base runner to reach. Maybe it's Hahn. 2-2. It's taken well high. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rosetown has had some 3-ball counts, but much to Williams' credit, he's been able to throw the out pitch. Whether that be swinging the 1 strikeout of Hamzig. 3-2. Popped foul of third, well out of play. Another full count offering upcoming here. The netting, relatively, of course, here at Mariner Middle School, non-existent. For our camera operators here today, 3-2. It's taken, called, strike 3, painted down low by Brady Williams. He picks up his 2nd strikeout of the evening. Now 10 in a row retired by the White Bear righty. Henry Reinhardt will step in for the 2nd time. Reinhardt today, one of 2 that did not make it out to the third baseman of their first time through the lineup. Takes the first pitch strike, 0-1. Of course, American Legion Town Ball has had quite a few major leaguers play in its ranks. 0-1 down the line. Busy day for Farrington. Another throw on target and in time. 2 down. The base is empty and 2 down. Calvin McCabe will bat for the 2nd time. He flew out to center field his only time. But for Legion Ball's baseball alumni, Yogi Berra played for Fred W. Stockham Post 245 in St. Louis. He was once quoted as saying it was the most fun he ever had. Take that, New York. Ted Williams also suited up for a post in San Diego. Frank Robinson led his Oakland, California team to the only back-to-back national championships in program history. Babe Ruth was too old to join when Legion Baseball started, but he spent the final years of his life promoting the program as its director of operations. Diving play in the hole at short, off the bag, back on the bag. Well thrown from Weber to Anderson. And 12 in a row retired by Brady Williams as he has been cruising through 4 innings of play. Again, 3 up, 3 down for Rosetown in the top of the 4th inning. 5-0 White Bear Post 168 in front of Rosetown Post 542. You're on your home for Town Ball in Northeast Metro. Suburban Community Channels, TV 19.
When we have the food we need, we are at our best. We push further. We rise higher. We unlock our full potential. When we are at our best, we have more to offer the world around us. When we have the food we need, we make our communities stronger. Together, we can help everyone get the food they need to thrive. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
A look at the Rosini Field scoreboard here at Mariner Middle School says White Bear 5, Rosetown 0. As we head to the bottom half of inning number 4 here at Mariner Middle School in White Bear Lake, Minnesota. Alex Twister with you here from just behind home plate at Mariner Middle School. Again, our cool crew, at least half of them are anyway, in terms of physical temperature. David Schuyler, Flora Schur, Tim Mecklin, and Tim Schuyler in the truck. And the camera operators today, Michael Cudahy, Liam Spillane, Lisa Senapole, and the always reliable Larry Lockdown. 1-1 is fouled off. It'll make the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Here on Christian Humphrey, 9-1-2 for White Bear Post. Humphrey, Alshouse, and Weber are scheduled. One. Taking high, 2 balls and 1 strike. Legion Ball's most prominent alumni as of later years include Justin Verlander, Ryan Sandberg, Roy Campanella, Dusty Baker. 2-1. Swinging a drive, well hit out to center field. But Reinhardt will find it in the high Minnesota sky. And 1 down and allowed out number 1. So for White Bear Post 168, their lineup flips around. Tyler Alshouse will bat for the 3rd time. He lined out to right in the 1st and hit a double, came around to score a run in the 2nd inning. But other famous alumni from American Legion Ball, Albert Pujols, Greg Maddux, Chipper Jones. Big names for baseball fans of my generation. Perhaps of all the former players, the notable former players, and many of them as they are. On, winds his 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Perhaps none had a greater impact than Major League Hall of Famer and former Cleveland Indians great Bob Feller. Though a self-described shy farm kid from rural Iowa, Feller learned the game in the 0-2. It's off the plate, 1 ball and 2 strikes. But Feller learned the game playing for Variety Post 313. Said the experience taught him as much about life as it did as baseball. Gave him an outlet to be discovered as a pitcher. Made many lifelong friendships from that. 1-2. Get on the ground to second. Usales goes across in time, 2 down. 2 up, 2 down. Isaiah Weber will bat for the 3rd time. He reached on a walk and a double in his 2 plate appearances this evening. But Feller also said that he was able to deal with letdown, become better prepared for the mental and emotional strain of fighting in a war. He was officially the first Legion alumni to be elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame, as this pitch will hit Isaiah Weber. He's on for the third time, the most painful of the variety here on the hit by pitch. Now with 2 down, a runner on first. Here's Kevin Zollinger. Feller said, quote, truthfully, I feel I should have given a plaque to the American Legion rather than receiving one from it. After he received a plaque in 1963, after he wrote a column to the American Legion magazine, expressing his love and appreciation for the league. On in relief of Ellingson. Winds and fires. First pitch to Zollinger, taking a strike, 0-1. There are other American Legion alumni that have not suited up for a Major League 9. Include former Vice President Dick Cheney, who played for Post 2 in Casper, Wyoming. Famed journalist and author Tom Brokaw played in South Dakota. So the alumni are many, and they are everywhere. 0-1 off the plate, levels the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Zollinger, one of 2 players that has not yet had a productive out so far today. 1-1. Skied in the air, shallow left field. Homzik coming in. Homzik lost his hat. Makes a catch anyway, and the inning is over. So for White Bear Post 168 in the bottom of the 4th inning, no runs on no hits. They had no errors, and they will leave a runner on base. We are through 4 here at Mariner Middle School in White Bear Lake, Minnesota. Rosetown 0, White Bear 5. They're home for town ball in the Northeast Metro. Suburban Community Channels, TV 19.
I never realized that I'd be taking care of a 2-year-old and a 9-year-old on my own. Sometimes as dads, I think we're too hard on ourselves. We get down on ourselves on not being able to, we're the providers, but we also have to learn to take care of ourselves. Self-love made me a better dad because I realized my worth. My daughter Isabella recently had a graduation into high school, and I got emotional because I saw pride in her eyes. I saw my daughter have her own self-love, and I saw the hard work of me being that dad 24/7 transferred to my teenage daughter. The word father means a lot to me. When I give my love to my children as a father, I can see it.
Back here at Mariner Middle School in White Bear Lake, Minnesota, and what could be known as Rossini Field. White Bear leads Rosetown by a score of 5-0 in the top of the 5th inning. For Rosetown in this 5th, they will have 5, 6, and 7. Cregan, Kane, and Usalis looking for their first base runner from a leadoff walk by Caden Ellingson. Cody Cregan will step in. He grounded to the 3rd baseman in Farrington his first time. Of course, it's Rossini Field at White Bear, or at least a scoreboard here before the renovations to this baseball field. That one's taken high in the zone for a strike, 0-1. For a young man named Nick Rossini, he was one of the great baseball stars for White Bear Lake. Continued to perform, continued to excel as this one's laced well foul. 3rd, on the count 0-2. What that young man did, not only being a great baseball player here for White Bear Lake, but was also top of his class at West Point. 0-2's fouled back, and another 0-2 upcoming. But named as such, the 04 graduate who tragically lost his life in Goose Lake back in the year of 2007. So a dedication for the scoreboard here at Mariner Middle School was made in 2008. The 0-2. Check the swing. He went around, says our home plate umpire. And another strikeout picked up by Brady Williams. That's strikeout number 3 on the evening. Again, the streak continues now. 13 in a row retired by Brady Williams. But Rossini was a great student, great baseball player, earned a 34 in his ACTs, too shy of a perfect score. Top of the high school class in 2004 here for White Bear Lake. This one skied out to center field, playable for Humphrey. Easy catch is made. 2 up, 2 down again. Played baseball, football, basketball. Attended St. John's University before enlisting in the Army. One of many great people to come from the town of White Bear Lake, but also to leave such an impact on it. Jack Gonzalez bats for the second time. Takes a pitch high for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Salas' only time today back in the second inning. He grounded out to third. A little bit of hemming and hawing from the White Bear side of the field as the starting lineups were introduced this evening. The introduction of Usalis, there was a lot of ooh, like high school boys are known to do. Bad blood? I doubt it. 2-0. This one's laced in and out of the glove of the third baseman Farrington and into left field for a base hit. There goes the no-hitter on a hard hit ball hit by Jack Usalis. Maybe it was just oohing at that base hit prematurely. And a runner is on for the first time since the first inning for Rosetown. Now, Farrington at third has been tested frequently tonight. Well hit ball, got right around on it and just laced it under the glove of Farrington in left field. Not much more that the third baseman could have done about that. First hit of the day is on the scoreboard. Alden Homzik, excuse me. Looks to make it pay. He struck out his first time. Alden Homzik in left field ahead of that one. Pulls it foul. Count, no balls and 2 strikes. White Bear in the 5th will have 4, 5, and 6. Farrington, Bush, and Lombardi. In a 5-0 ball game here in the top of the 5th inning, 2 down. And a runner on at first. Williams comes set. His wide, his 0-2. Swinging a ball. That's chopped out to short. Weber over the top in time. And the inning is over. Rosetown picks up their first hit of the evening, but it's left on base. For Rosetown in the top of the 5th inning, no runs on a hit. No errors, they lead 1. We're through 4.5 here at Mariner Middle School. White Bear 5, Rosetown 0. You're on your home for Town Mall in the Northeast Metro. Suburban Community Channels, TV 19.
Some people judge a book by its cover, and if you're not what people are looking for, you're kind of like a reject.
At school, it feels like everyone's staring at me, and I'm just kind of not really a person.
Sometimes I can't believe that you could be proud of me if I'm not proud of myself.
It just was hard today. Nobody was listening to me.
Think of our best times together. Let's do more of that.
Try to understand me more, and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at sounditouttogether.org.
Defensive change for Rosetown here in the bottom of the 5th inning, as it'll be Max Amundsen now into the game in left field, replacing Alden Homzik. They'll bat 8th in the Rosetown batting lineup. It'll be number 17 in the person of Max Amundsen. White Bear leading here by a score of 5-0 here at Mariner Middle School. Hahn into his 3rd inning of work. It was a first pitch strike to Farrington. The count is 0-1. Big shout out and a thank you to David Schuyler for providing water today on what was a very hot day. Our first pitch temperature 89 degrees. It's cooled off since then. Thanks, of course, to the flora and fauna behind us. 1-1. It's taken high, 2 balls and 1 strike. course, the one thing that I miss most perhaps now after the retirement of Arlen Becker back in February is the Lorna Dunes. 2-1. Check the swing, did Farrington, and appealed to first. Did not swing, says our first base umpire, and 3 balls and 1 strike. But early on when I started at Suburban Community Channels, that was back in 2016. Quite some time ago now. Had a few less gray hairs than I do then. 3-1's skied out to shallow right field. Back on it is Uzalis. He has it. Round number 1. One of the highlights, of course, as Luke Bush will come to bat. He's 2 for 2 today with a pair of singles and a run scored. But there was always a treat box of goodies that was in the SEC truck. Fruit snacks, Lorna Dunes. Nobody ever really touched the Lorna Dunes much. It's quite disappointing. I'm a big fan of the Lorna Dunes. But Arlen, of course, well wishes in his retirement. The 0-1. Swinging a ball, hit to third. Backhanded stop by Kane. Across the diamond, stretch is made in time by Cregan at first. Now, great footwork by the first baseman in Cregan to keep the foot on the bag, and there's 2 down. Started by a nice backhand pick and excellent footwork, and umpire perfectly in position. So 2 up, 2 down. Jason Lombardi bats. This one's another one tapped on the ground to third. Kane up with it this time, pulls the first baseman off the bag. Out is called as Cregan slaps the tag on him, and the inning is over. White Bear Post 168 goes 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and they leave no runners on base. We are through 5 here at Mariner Middle School in White Bear Lake, Minnesota. White Bear 5, Rosetown 0. You're on your home for town ball in the Northeast Metro. Suburban Community Channels, TV 19.
It's like we just arrived.
I'm here today because of Tanya's relentless efforts in trying to get me healed. When I came back from the war, I became a homeless veteran. I was barely hanging on by a thread. The one thing that was constant for me was music. Music led me to Tanya. Normally with a veteran, we think we can solve everything. The truth of the matter is we cannot.
I just knew that something was different, something was off. I let him know that he wasn't alone. There are people that loved him.
And says, Michael, I know you've got a plan to take your life today, but if you give me just 5 more minutes to love you.
5 more minutes, 5 more minutes, honey, 5 more minutes to love. Michael has actually taught me what it looks like to accept help.
Through 5 scoreless innings. Just 1 hit allowed for White Bear Lake righty Brady Williams, who has been stellar here this evening. Top of the 6th inning, White Bear 5, Rosetown 0. For Rosetown Post 542, 9-1-2. Wolf, Simmons, and Hahn, the scheduled batters. Should anybody reach Henry Reinhardt, that spot would be due up. First pitch swinging out towards Bush in left field. Catch made with a cap high effort. 1 up, 1 quick down. And the lineup card flips around. Aiden Simmons will get his first chance today. Simmons came in as a defensive replacement for Caden Ellingson. Ellingson finishes his day 0 for 1 with a walk. They will look at Williams for the first time, take the first pitch strike, 0-1. After today, White Bear has just 4 games remaining as the 0-1 is fouled off. Count 0-2. Following the 4th of July weekend, they will have TC Red, TC Maroon, then the Gopher Classic Tournament, then Matamita and Rosetown. That Rosetown game where they'll be playing the second time, swing and a miss, 0-2 becomes 0-3, meaning that's a strikeout. It's the 4th now for Brady Williams this evening, and Jackson Hahn will bat. But that reverse matchup with Rosetown. That'll be at CHS Field, home of the St. Paul Saints, AAA affiliate of the Minnesota Twins. That one's low. The Hahn, 1 ball and no strikes. After that, section playoffs. We'll dip into the late part of June, and can you believe, not June, July. Can you believe it? We're already almost near back to school time. Almost taken high in the zone, levels up the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Hahn today, what was that? Hahn today as a 1-1. This one's into the glove of the pitcher Williams. Sidearm throw back over to first, and 3 up, 3 down once again. For Rosetown Post 542, no runs, no hits, no errors, and they leave none. We are through 5.5. White Bear 5, Rosetown 0. Here on your home for Town Ball in the Northeast Metro. Through Community Channels, TV 19.
The bravest person I know is definitely my dad, 100%.
My friend Sean.
My daughter Cynthia, and she was in the United States Army.
One of the bravest things he ever did wasn't when he first enlisted, it was when he found his first support group.
Our journey has not been easy.
One of the bravest things he did was when he asked to move in with me and my mom.
I felt like I was lost, and you gave me a place to stay.
When he decided he was going to go back to school after 23 years.
It was the better part of my life that I spent in the Marine Corps. Transitioning out, it's a difficult thing.
She went on foreign soil. She went to war. But the bravest thing she did is when she asked for help.
So I really appreciate it.
Third pitcher of the day on for Rosetown Post 542 as they trail White Bear 5-0 in the bottom of the 6th inning. It'll be Daniel Franzen who is entering in relief of what was the starting shortstop, Jackson Hahn. As the starting shortstop moved to pitcher and is now somewhere either out of the lineup altogether or to be determined. That's part of the joy of Legion ball. The line on Hahn, 3 innings of work, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned. Walked nobody and struck out 2 in 3 innings of work in relief of Ellingson. So for White Bear Post in this 6th inning, they'll have 7, 8, 9, Anderson, Von Walter, and Humphrey. Anybody reach top of the White Bear lineup? Tyler Allshouse would bat. Anderson steps in. He'll lead things off in this 6th inning. Great day at the plate so far, reaching on a single and a double. Run scored as well after that double in the 2nd inning. As Franzen will come set. Righty's first pitch of the afternoon. Called strike, 0-1. In terms of what's coming up and games that are going on tonight, this Wednesday the 2nd, game that's probably about the same place, Hamlin Red against Tri-City Red. Hamlin, that's a non-league game, of course. It's Creek-Durham Hall area. That one's taken high in the zone for a strike. 0-2. Tri-City Red, they are post 513 out of Mounds View. And Tri-City Maroon, they will play Tri-City Red after the fact over at CHS Field. Tri-City Maroon, well, Irondale, post 513. 0-2 from Franzen. Line drive out to left field, down for a base hit. 3rd hit of the day for Matt Anderson leads off this 6th inning, and Gunnar Von Walter will come to the plate. Great contact, great sound off the bat. Well struck ball out to the left fielder Amundsen. Von Walter bats for the 3rd time. Sac fly RBI in the 2nd inning. Also struck out in the 3rd to end the 3rd. Franzen set. Ball skied out to shallow center field. Coming on as a center fielder. Can't make a diving catch, Ken Reinhardt. Chance for a play at second base, not in time. And a bloop base hit in the most extreme fashion for Gunnar Von Walter, as Matt Anderson takes second base for Christian Humphrey. Give Reinhardt a ton of credit here just for getting to that ball in the first place. Great speed, good sprint, good route, but just dropped out in front of him at the last minute. Even better, too, the coverage by Simmons at shortstop, going over to get to where that ball was. First pitch to Humphrey, taken for a strike, 0-1. As Simmons and Gonzalez have actually switched places. 0-1. Taken for a strike, 0-2. Humphrey today, sac fly RBI, also flew out to center field. That center field fly out, that was his last at bat. Now time will be called. Wolf will go out to chat with Franzen, and there continues to be some challenges with the speaker system here at Mariner Middle School. One thing that over the years of, whether it be this high school level, the D3 level, the D1 level, the pro level, no matter where you go, no matter where you go up or down that level, whether it's at what was Xcel Energy Center, now Grand Casino Arena, or if it's here at Town Ball, there's always something wrong with technology. Franzen's 0-2. Taking high and outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. It was my second or third Wild game that I did, filling in for Adam Abrams, that I turned the microphone off, and then all of a sudden, all throughout Xcel Energy Center, there was just a going on throughout the arena. Step back, put my hands back behind the mic. And it was wild and crazy indeed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Anderson continues to perhaps not just be a pest in terms of base running, but also looking in to try to steal signs from the catcher, Wolf. Franzen comes set, his 2-2. Curve taken for a ball, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Tyler Allshouse, the catcher, is on deck. Remember, in a 10-run rule, in terms of where that process would be, it would have to be Weber who would get on base for that 10-run rule to be a potentiality. Franzen set, long pause, time is called. Very long pause by the pitcher, Franzen. Continue to wait and wait and wait. And if you're Rosetown, if you can pick a runner off, 3-2, called, strike 3, painted by Franzen on the lower third, and there's 1 down. So the lineup flips around for White Bear Post 168. Tyler Allshouse will bat for the 4th time. Reached in a double back in the second, came around to score a run. Rounded out to second base his last time. Obviously, sound equipment at Xcel Energy Center, Grand Casino Arena, it's top of the line, so it just goes to show that even there are challenges. Pitch high, 1 ball and no strikes. Like Adam Abrams told me, is that welcome to the NHL. The equipment doesn't work here either. Ain't that true? In fact, this past year for St. Thomas hockey, men's hockey, we had a playoff series against Ferris State. My microphone died completely in the second game of that 3-game series. 1-0. Looking the ball, it's looped out to shallow center field. Backing up is Usalis. That'll drop in, and a play will be made at second base on the force out. So 1 out is recorded. Anderson takes third base. Von Walter is the runner that is cut down, and Allshouse will be on base via the, what I would believe would be a single. But Isaiah Weber will bat here with 2 down. Runners on the corners. Courtesy runner will be used once again. Newlander will take the place of Allshouse. 2 balls in this inning that have just, for lack of any better word, just died. In between the shortstop Gonzalez and the center fielder Reinhardt. Isaiah Weber bats. He's reached all 3 times. Go back over. He's in safely. But my microphone died, and I figured, oh, well, we're not going to be here next weekend. It's the last game in St. Thomas Ice Arena history. Well, thanks to Bemidji State, it was not. That became a fun afternoon at the hockey rink. We're down to second base, dead to rights. No, safe is called. Allshouse will take second base, at least the courtesy runner rather, Newlander, on a play that looked like, I don't want to say routine. Nothing is really routine unless you make it so, but play that from here looked like an easy out. One not made. 2 runners in scoring position now then for Weber. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Handy of a curveball thrown by Franzen. The count is 0-2. Rosetown posts 5:42 in the 7th inning. We'll have 3, 4, and 5. Reinhardt, McCabe, and Cregan. Eric Kane would bat in that 4th spot should anybody reach for Rosetown. Franzen comes set. Winds 0-2. Low in the dirt. Well stopped by Wolf. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Weber, I mentioned, has reached all 3 times. A walk, a double, and a hit by pitch. Franzen will shake off Wolf. Comes set. Winds the 1-2. Ball well in front of it and tagged a far away, but just ahead of it on the swing. An allowed foul ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. With Anderson on at third. Allshouse is a runner at second, at least his spot in the lineup. Newlander, the courtesy runner, is on there. And another 1 ball, 2 strike count upcoming from Franzen to Isaiah Weber. The righty set. A 1-2. Swinging a ball. That's tagged down the left field line, but that too is foul. Not foul by much. 5 feet maybe to that left field line. That'll bring Weber back. Franzen, the 3rd pitcher of the evening for Rosetown. Ellingson got the start. 2 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, all 4 earned. 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Then Jackson Hahn pitched second for Rosetown. 3 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 2 strikeouts. 1-2. Check the swing. Did Weber. An appeal to our base umpire. No swing. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls and 2 strikes. Franzen and Wolf, they agree. The righty set. Long pause into his windup. 2-2. Fastball low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kevin Zollinger, who's on deck should this inning continue. In the bottom of the 6th inning, 5-0. White Bear post 168 over Rosetown post 542. 3-2. Taken, and a ball that gets away from the catcher, Wolf. And neither runner will advance, neither Anderson nor Newlander will advance, or at least attempt to advance. So everybody will be at the base that they are. It'll be ball 4. Kevin Zollinger will bat. Zollinger at the plate, pop-up strikeout and a flyout. Batting for his 4th time this evening. Off speed taken for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Franzen set. The 1-0. Check the swing. Pitch called a strike. Count level 1 ball and 1 strike. Anderson is on at third. Newlander on at second. Weber is on at first. Weber's reached all 4 times. He's come to the plate today, the only Bear that has reached all 4 times. The 1-1. Taken high, 2 balls and 1 strike. Franzen's 2-1. This one's popped foul. Going over to give it a look is Kane. Kane near the spectators, tumbles, does not make the catch. That's a great effort by Kane out at third base, but just ran out of room. Good tumbling, diving effort to try to put away out number 3, but just could not come up with it. Two balls and 2 strikes on Zollinger. Barrington on deck, he'll bat next. Franzen set, the 2-2. Ball chopped on the ground to first. Goes off the bag, bobbled by Cragen, but right in front of him. And the inning is over. For White Bear Post 168, they load the bases on a total of 3 base hits. No errors, and they leave them loaded with 3. We head to the top of the 7th. White Bear looking to close it out. 5-0 they lead. You're on your home for town ball in the Northeast Metro. Urban Community Channels, TV 19.
When we have the food we need, we are at our best. We push further. We rise higher. We unlock our full potential. When we are at our best, we have more to offer the world around us. When we have the food we need, we make our communities stronger. Together, we can help everyone get the food they need to thrive. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Dust in the wind here in White Bear Lake, Minnesota, as it's been absolute gas by Brady Williams tonight as he pitches into his 7th inning tonight in a 5-0 lead. White Bear over Rosetown. For Rosetown Post 542, it'll be Reinhard, McCabe, and Cragen. 3, 4, and 5 in the Rosetown batting lineup. Swing and a miss at the first offering by Reinhard. He's in the hole 0-1. Story of the game, really, for this one. Bears with the runs in the 2nd and the 3rd. The 0-1, tapped on the ground, too short. Weber stands, throws, pulls off the first baseman Anderson from the bag. The tag applied, 1 up, 1 down. Reinhardt will finish his day 0 for 3. Calvin McCabe will bat. Bears today, 5 runs on 10 hits. No errors defensively in the field. They've left 7 runners on base today. Gabe takes the first pitch, strike, 0-1. Meanwhile, for Rosetown, no runs on a hit. There were no errors. They left 2 on. Williams 0-1. That one's hard hit out to second. Diving for it, looking for Von Walter into the glove of Anderson. A nice play, and there's 2 down. Now, great defense in the field. Certainly by the infielders for White Bear Town. Post 680, 168. The ball hit perfectly in between Von Walter and Anderson. That's a great range by the second baseman and a better throw from Maneen. Cragen will step in, takes a first pitch, strike, 0-1. First baseman for Rosetown, he's 0 for 2 today. The ground out and the strikeout. Hit on the ground once more, too short. Bobbled by Weber, recovers, throw across is in time, and the ball game is over. A complete game shutout for Brady Williams. And White Bear continues to have their hot streak to the summer season started, as they are now sitting at a record of 6-0 in American Legion 4th District play. Well, let's get you the totals from today's game. For Rosetown Post 542, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 2 runners on base. For White Bear Post 168, 5 runs on 7 base hits. They leave 7 runners on base with no errors. Winning pitcher today, Brady Williams. The losing pitcher is Caden Ellingson. Our time of game today, 1 hour, 31 minutes, 1-3-1. This evening's time of game. Well, the offense got going early for White Bear Township, as that was Jace Lombardi who was able to put the ball in play. Couldn't do anything further. It would be small ball that would be the success for White Bear tonight. Continuing to take advantage of plays, of opportunities, and great pitching made by Williams on the mound and Farrington in the field. Farrington made quite a few number of good plays down at the third base bag. Power would start to streak for White Bear as well. A good number of doubles. Von Walter with a sac fly RBI in that at bat. Some good defense as well from Rosetown. Good plays made came to Cregan for a long out there. Rosetown's defense continued to keep them in it. Farrington, still opportunities existed for Rosetown to be able to put runs on the board. They just couldn't because of how good this White Bear defense was. That's really what it comes down to. Loop base hits, taking advantage of opportunities when they existed. Being able to move the runners up slowly, one at a time, as they continue to play well defensively in the field. The only hit for the day right there. Jack Usalis, a line drive down the left field line off the glove of Farrington, and that's how we end today's final. 5-0. White Bear Post 168 over Rosetown Post 542. You've been watching American Legion Baseball here on Suburban Community Channel's TV 19. White Bear wins 5-0, and hey, we'll talk again soon.